Hi, all remote learners. So today we're going to be going and reading in our StemScopedia book. It is going to be on page 12. So I'm going to read this, and it's for connecting with your child. So we won't be able to do the experiment because it takes a little bit of time. So I will show you, because someone has done the experiment before, I'll show you the results and show you what it looks like. So let's go ahead and get started. A solution is also called a homogeneous mixture. This means that the parts are thoroughly mixed and we don't usually see the separate parts easily. For example, when sugar dissolves in water, individual sugar particles separate from the larger sugar grains and become surrounded by water particles. Salt water is also a homogeneous mixture. The other type of mixture is heterogeneous mixture. In this case, the individual bits of the components are larger than the small particles, as in a mixture of salt and sand. As a result, the ingredients are more clumped or less random. Solutions, homogeneous mixtures, are most easily separated by evaporation. This process allows the solvent, for example, water, to leave the solution and enter the atmosphere as a gas molecule, for example, water vapor. This is how evaporation happens in both pure water and in a water solution. Particles of water are always passing back and forth between the liquid and the air at the surface. Evaporation happens when more molecules leave the solution than enter. Heat and surface area both increase the rate of evaporation. In the case of a solution, evaporation eventually leads to the loss of all the water, leaving behind the original dissolved material as a solid. This solid will be little changed from its original form before it is dissolved. So again, it will have little change from when it was beginning until what it ends. So yes, in between it does mix with the sugar and the salt. So you can see that. So with that, we are going to see what the directions are, and then we're going to see the results. Remember, it takes a little bit of time to do this experiment, so we can't see the results right away. Someone else has done the results, so I can show you what the results will look like. So the directions say, you can perform this activity with your child to observe the dissolution and recovery by evaporation of salt and sugar from a solution. Follow these steps. So measure the same amount of sugar and a sample of salt. Make sure they're equal amount. If you do have a scale, make sure to use a scale. If you don't, just make sure that's equal amount. Add identical volumes of water to identical glasses. You'll add the sugar sample to one glass. You'll add the salt sample to another glass. You'll stir until dissolved. Observe any differences in the rate of dissolution. Pour each solution into a pie pan. They put it in a petri dish. So I will show you what the petri dish looks like. And they did keep track of what was what. So that's going to be different of what it says on here. Put the samples in a place where they are safe and they're not contaminated. When the water has evaporated, you will try to find the mass of the solids, but we did not do that. We're just going to observe using our eyes. Then we're going to see what they have done, which is the sugar and which one's the salt, which they've already given you that information. So let's go ahead and look at what the information is and what they came up to be. So let's see. This is what it is, and so that you can see that they used a control, which is right here, which is the water. Then they used the sugar solution, which is the 5 grams of sugar, and the water was, again, the control. Then we have the salt solution. Again, 5 grams. They stayed consistent with the mass that they had, and then they have their water there. So with that, we will show that we had the different solutions and the sugar. So we can see the different ones that we have. So I'm going to have you go back into your book, and you're going to, you'll go into Teams and answer those questions. And in these questions, you need to really think about what you saw for your observation and what the results were for happening with this, connecting with your child for the results that we had for the salt and the sugar. So I hope y'all had a good day, and I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.